Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tarun again, back with another fitness video. So today I want to talk about something which is a very common question. A common question, related to every guy. A guy who wants to know when to bulk, when to cut. Because I see so many youngsters, they get swayed by these, this thing about supplements. Everybody wants to buy supplements, whether it be gainer, whey protein. I really don't know why. I mean, they get into before they even hit the gym, they want to know their stack. Even for my transformation, for that matter, everybody wants to know where do I buy the supplements from. It's not about the supplement, guys. It's about the food, training, so many other things. Supplements is the last resort, which will only give you that 2% extra edge. I've been a broken record talking about it, but I'm not going to talk about supplements. I'm going to talk about bulking and cutting, because this is a very confusing topic for many of you, which is when to bulk. What is the right time to bulk? And the other point is when to cut. Now, before I begin and address this issue, let's understand what bulking is. Now, people who are new to bulking or people who are new to strength training, bulking is an art of packing as much muscle as you can with minimal body fat. Cutting is the exact opposite of bulking, which is losing as much body fat as you can without compromising or eating way too much of muscle. Now, this is a catch-22. Can you do both together? Professionally, some guys can do it, but most of the people can't. Now, how do you know which phase you are in, and how do you know that this is the right time for you to bulk or this is the right time for you to bulk? So I'm going to break it down as per body types. Now, a classic example, let's start with an ectomorph. Now, an ectomorph is a guy generically lean. He probably has skinny fat. Skinny fat is nothing but fat around his stomach. But he's very lean. He has no muscles, just pretty much straight. When I say straight, I mean straight body. I'm okay with all the sexual preferences, guys. That's your call. So when he has no muscles but he has skinny fat, now this guy has two options. A, how do I get rid of skinny fat? Two, how do I pack on muscle? Now, this is a catch-22 for these guys. They get confused because they're young, they don't know much about strength training, because these are the questions that I get on my WhatsApp. This is the question that I get on my YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. That I'm skinny fat, how do I lose this fat, but at the same time I want to pack on muscle. Guys, you can't do that. First, as an ectomorph, you need to pack on as much muscle as you can. And how would you pack on muscle? Guys, ectomorphs don't respond well to food. Actually, I would say ectomorphs respond really well to food because they can get away with anything because they're born with fast metabolism. So they should be eating more carbs, which means 70 to 80% of their calories should come from carbs, not gainers, supplements. No, guys. Your carbs before your workout, you got to have carbs. After your workout, protein plus carbs. You got to have carbs in every meal. That's how you can pack on muscle. Now, if you're thinking by taking 4 to 5 scoops of protein or chicken, fish, you're going to pack on muscle, you will not be able to do anything. You're not going to, probably go anywhere and even go close to your goal. So for you as an ectomorph, you need to not only make that choice, you consciously have to go with one choice, which is pack on more muscle. Forget about that skinny fat. Just remember, if you're looking muscular, you can always figure out a way when you go on your cutting phase to cut that fat out. But now, if you were to do it right now, you don't have muscle. You will only be doing is your abs and cardio, and you lose even more whatever little muscle that you have. So it's a worse situation for you. For an ectomorph, it's always got to be packing on muscle. When I say bulking, clean bulking, and I've done a different video on it. What are the thumb rules for clean bulking? And whenever you do clean bulking, guys, do not add too much of sodium in your diet, because remember, whatever fat you'll acquire in your bulking, you eventually have to get rid of it in your cutting phase. So that's why I always say the idea of bulking is to get minimal fat and more muscle, and that more muscle would be a little bit of water weight. That's okay, that can be taken care of in your cutting phase. So ectomorphs focus on bulking, which is gaining pure lean mass. Comes the second category, people like me, endomorphs, who have a tough time packing on, who have an easy task packing on muscle, and also an easy task putting on weight. So what do? So all the endomorphs, they need to see themselves in the mirror. where exactly do they stand? If they're anyways between 15 to 25% of body fat, the first thing that they should be doing is focusing on losing body fat. Now, how do you lose body fat? I'm not saying, you have to go on a treadmill, run for hours and lose body fat. No, you have to have a program which is a blend of both weight training and cardio, which means your primary focus has to be strength training, guys, because you don't want a situation wherein you do your cardio, extensive amount of cardio, and you lose all the weight, but you're left with that sagging loose skin. That's what happens when people who are endomorphs, who are fat, and they end up losing weight. The skin gets saggier, and obviously what happens then, then you keep trying out different means and measures, but there's no fix to that. So that's why it's very, very important for people who are endomorphs to do strength training first. And what kind of strength training? Your typical 2 body parts split, chest, tricep or back bicep, leg, shoulder, everything. And you got to do it at about 70 to 80% of your 1 hour, and you got to lift heavy 8 to 12 maximum repetitions. You got to do it. Don't worry that, if you have a little bit of fat, by doing heavy weights, it will make you bulkier. That's exactly what you really need to do. After your weight training session, you're going to do a 10 to 15 minute cardio. When I say cardio, I mean you could cycle, you can do elliptor, you can walk on an incline. All these things you got to do so that you keep your fat also at bay. Your body fat is also shedding. At the same time, when you're doing your strength training, you're also elevating your metabolism for next 48 hours. So you'll burn fat like this when it comes to strength training and cardio put together. Food, unlike an ectomorph, where their primary source of food intake would be carbs, for endomorphs, your food will be about 40 to 45% carbs, which is going to be before your training. So that, carbs is the energy source that your body is using to train, because if you don't take carbs, you won't be able to lift heavy. You don't want to be in a situation, because if you won't lift heavy, you would not pack on muscle. You won't pack on muscle, you'll remain fat and flat. You mean fat and flat. You don't want a situation like that. So whatever carbs that you take it before your workout, and after your training, focus more on protein and a little bit of fat. That's your thing. Mesomorphs are blessed soul in the world, man. They can eat anything, and they can have a blended approach. And there are very few mesomorphs here. So probably they're the guys, who are gifted with great genetics. All they have to do is probably they can take carbs before their workout also, they can take carbs after their workout also. But I'm yet to come across a mesomorph who's fat. If they are fat, again, they can do the same. They can follow the same tactic what an endomorph would do strength training first and do minimal cardio after that, and they'll start losing body fat in days. Unlike endomorphs, for them it may take some weeks. So guys, this is a very easier kill for you to figure out. You don't have to go by this, or should I bulk or should I cut? Look yourself in the mirror where you stand. As an ectomorph, the first thing you have to do is pack on more muscle. Don't think about your skinny fat. Endomorphs first focus on lowering body fat. How do you lower your body fat? By doing strength training and cardio, minimizing your carbs to about 40-45% before your training, and after that it's all high protein. Third comes your mesomorphs. Mesomorphs follow the same. They can do the same. 40 to 50% of their diet can come from carbs, then protein, because they're genetically gifted. So this is how you really need to decide when to bulk and when to cut. No room for confusion, no room for any gap. So I hope this video helps you. Any one of you have any questions around bulking or cutting, feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or even on my WhatsApp. I'll be very happy to assist you with your goal. So until we meet again, peace.